The woman had been married for 30 years and had never worn makeup, yet on the day of her divorce, she applied an exquisite makeup look. She also cut off the long hair she had kept for 50 years. Finally, she changed into an elegant gown. She decided that from today on, she would live as her true self. The reason the woman changed so drastically was simply because early yesterday morning she made breakfast for her son. Her son, however, scorned her for being a cleaner. Her husband filed for divorce on the grounds that his company was about to go public. He needed a woman who could make a proper appearance as the CEO's wife, not a housewife like her who only knew how to do laundry and cook. Looking at the divorce papers her husband had prepared in advance, the woman could not believe any of it. Back then, she had been the daughter of the richest man in the country. For love, she was willing to give up everything. She married her husband to live a simple and quiet life. To avoid making her husband feel inferior, she even concealed the fact that her family was the richest heir. She took a janitorial job at her husband's small company. In reality, she was secretly assisting her husband in taking the company public. She never expected that 30 years of hard work and endurance would be repaid with her husband's abandonment. One blow after another drove her straight into the hospital. After the checkup, she discovered that she had cancer. When her best friend saw what she was going through, she urged her to leave that family immediately, to return home and resume her life as the wealthy heiress she truly was. That would be the only way to save her health. Despite this, the woman still could not bear to abandon her husband and son. Just as she returned home, torn over whether to reveal her true identity to her husband, she opened the door and overheard her husband talking to his mistress on the phone. Only then did she wake up to the truth. It turned out her husband had long since betrayed their marriage. There was no reason for her to stay in that home any longer, so she decided to live as she had always been meant to. She applied her exquisite makeup and cut off her long hair. In the next moment, she transformed from an ugly woman into an absolute beauty. She returned to her family's conglomerate and assumed her position as heiress. Unexpectedly, on her first day back at the company, she ran into her husband. He arrived arm in arm with his mistress, seeking a business partnership with the conglomerate. The mistress, seeing how exquisitely the woman was dressed today, mocked her for being abandoned by her husband. In anger, the woman slapped the mistress across the face. The husband immediately panicked and scolded the woman. He claimed that the mistress knew the heiress of the richest man, and could help his company secure a partnership. Upon hearing this, the woman declared that she was the very heiress they mentioned, yet she had never had a friend like this mistress. The mistress was incredulous. She believed the woman was just an ordinary cleaner. The husband also refused to believe that the woman was the heiress. He even told her that if she was mentally unwell, she should see a doctor. Afterwards, the mistress left with the man. That evening, the man came home drunk. He called out his wife's name, asking her to bring him a cup of hangover tea. For a long while, there was no answer. In a daze, he sought his wife remind him to drink less, and hand him a cup of hangover tea, but when he reached out to take it, he found it was only a hallucination. His wife had long since left him. He hurriedly pulled his phone from his pocket, and called his wife, but the voice on the other end said the phone was switched off. Then, in the next moment, there was a knock at the door. The man thought it was his wife returning, and happily opened the door, but it was the delivery man. He opened the package and saw the divorce agreement sent by his wife. She stated that she did not want any of his assets. At that moment, their son walked over. He was overjoyed to learn that his mother had agreed to divorce his father.